What is going on, everybody? It is Big L here, and today we have our Week 11 back with Coach ScaryTerry and his Boston Brelooms. He is also sitting in a playoff position, so this is another week that we're going to have to potentially play another playoff team. But we're trying to grind, trying to keep that win streak going. His types are dark and ground, so let's play the other ground type user this week. He has a really scary team. His team consists of Urshifu Single Strike, Sandy Shocks, Meowscarada, Alolan Muck, Gligar, Gastrodon, Umbreon, Golurk, Volibee, Excadrill, and Mega Tyranitar. So you can see with the team he brought in front of you that he brought the Umbreon, Gligar, Meowscarada, Volibee, Excadrill, and the Muck, while we brought Piloswine, Mega Altaria, Garchomp, Togekiss, Seismitoad, and Iron Valiant. We'll get into my sets as they come in, but looking at team preview, the first thing that kind of stood out to me was Volibee came. I didn't think it would come, but I could kind of see it because he got their ground immunity. That kind of makes sense. Whenever half my team is ground. But I thought he might not bring it just because, half my team is also fairy. So, but it's fine. We calc for it. I was surprised to know Gastrodon. I thought Gastrodon looked pretty good into me, and I was surprised at no Mega T-Tar. I thought for sure if Excadrill came, he'd bring the Sand mode, but he didn't bring it, which is fine. Going into this, my plan was to lead Piloswine. I don't have hazards on this team, unfortunately. You know me, I love my hazards. I didn't think hazards looked particularly strong against him this week. If I'd known he was going to bring both the flyers, I probably would have brought Stealth Rocks, but it is what it is. So my plan was to lead Piloswine. I know I can live any hit that anything on his team wants to go for, especially the Meowscarada. I know he likes to lead the Meowscarada. We had other ideas for what to lead this game, but Piloswine seemed like the safest thing. So that's exactly what we do. We go ahead, we lead the Piloswine as he leads the Meowscarada. So I go ahead, I'm going to click Icicle Crash. I thought about me clicking Ice Shard here. I fully expected to go for like a knockoff, maybe even a U-turn. But I was like, if he does go for U-turn, I want to make sure I get something out of the turn. So I don't click Earthquake. I'm going to go ahead and click Icicle Crash here and try to get some big damage off on something. As he goes for the knockoff, and we see by how much that does. We see turn one, this thing is choice banned. I thought, after seeing what Greninja was able to do to us last week with being really fast with Protean, being able to just switch around, come in, hit something really hard, switch out. He would probably try to do the same thing with Meowscarada, a fast, hard-hitting Scarfer. But we see turn one that this thing is choice banned. So well, that's fine. He knocks off my Eviolite, which is kind of a bummer. We get a really nice chunk of damage off on this thing with the Icicle Crash. So here, I don't think he's going to want to go into the Gligar or the Volibee because, he's not going to want to take an Icicle Crash. So I go ahead, since this thing is no longer resisting Earthquake, I'm just going to go ahead and go for Earthquake. Maybe I get lucky. Maybe he switches in the Muck thinking, oh, he's going to go for an Icicle Crash. I can tank that. Maybe I get lucky. But he goes ahead and switches out into the Umbreon. So I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine getting damage off on this thing. Umbreon is bulky. I've got things in the back that I want to try to sweep with later. So being able to wear this, having a little chip damage on this thing is really nice. I go ahead, I think this thing might just go for a Wish here, so I go ahead and switch out into my Altaria here, thinking this thing can't really do much for me. As he makes a good play here, and he goes for the Toxic. Immediately wish I had brought Natural Cure instead of Cloud9, but I brought Cloud9 thinking Mega T-Tar was 100% coming. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I go ahead, this next turn, I'm going to go ahead and click Dragon Dance. This thing here can touch me, thinking he might wish, he might protect, as he goes out into the Gligar. But I go ahead and go for the Dragon Dance. We're at +1. I know I can't really do too much to this thing, and with the Toxic on me, I'm on a timer. So unfortunately, because I'm on the timer, my original plan was, if he switches to Sin on me, who cares? Because it can't really do anything to me anyway. But it is what it is. I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Body Slam, and we get the Para immediately, which is huge, actually, potentially. If we can get a few Paras, it can't, go for moves on it. It can't go for, Acrobatic, Earthquake, or Roost even, if he wants to Roost to stall out the Toxic. As he goes for the Earthquake, it does a fair amount, really. I mean, if I wasn't Toxic, I could alternate between Roosts and Dragon Dances, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for another one. At this point, I'm like, my pillow, you're in until you die. So I'm going to go ahead and click Body Slam again here. You get a fair amount off, but he does go for the Roost. He breaks the pair, gets the Roost off. And same thing happens here. I go ahead and go for the Body Slam, resign to the same die, and he goes for a T-Spike, which is really, really interesting. I don't want hazards up. My team needs to be healthy. And we die to poison, which is really unfortunate. Rip Altaria, not really getting to do much this game. I thought about going Togekiss here to defog these away, but I was like, you know what? I can't touch this thing. So I have to go Seismitoad. Seismitoad can scare this thing out with Ice Punch, but I decided to go ahead and go for a knockoff, and we catch the Volibee coming in. So I'm really happy with that. We get rid of that thing's Eviolite. I'm not going to stick around. I go ahead and go out into the Togekiss because I know this thing won't be able to really touch me. He goes for the Foul Play. It does 0 as we go ahead and go for the Defog here when he switches in the Excadrill. I know I can live any hit this thing wants to go for. I am EV'd to live a Iron Head from an Adamant Life Orb Excadrill. So I know I can live anything this thing wants to go for. I'm at 96%, especially since he doesn't have the sand. He's probably definitely going to want to be Jolly. So I know I can live anything this thing wants to go for. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Aura Sphere. It's good damage on this thing. Because he goes for the Stealth Rock. We go for the Aura Sphere, so that tells me he definitely isn't banded. So I know I live any hit he wants to go for. So we get the Aura Sphere, we get a good little chunk of damage off, and I have a decision to make here. Do I want to try to claim the kill on this thing, or do I want to get rid of Stealth Rocks with Defog? I decide that getting rid of the rocks is more important. So I'm gonna click Defog. If he keeps getting Stealth Rocks afterwards, that's fine. So I go ahead and click I click Defog here. He goes for the Iron Head. Like I said, I know we live that because he cannot be anything more hard hitting than Life Orb. He goes for Stealth Rocks. That's fine. We get the Defog off. We don't get flinched, thank God. We get the Defog off, and yeah, we go. I think this turn I decided to click Defog because I didn't want to end this interaction with Stealth Rocks. Even though there's potential for later being able to come in, get another Defog off in front of the Gligar, the Volibee, even the Muck potentially. There is potential for me to come back in later, but I'm like, I don't want to risk anything like that and take extra chip damage on stuff that I have to. As he goes for the Rapid Spin, which is a really, really interesting tech on his part. He gets the kill. I thought about here going into Iron Valiant because I do have Vacuum. But I'm like, you know what? Nothing this thing goes for can kill Seismitoad. I can go ahead, threaten this thing out with an Ice Punch. And if he wants to try to save this thing for later, which I could see him wanting to do, I could go for an Ice Punch, maybe catch the Gligar or the Volibee coming in on it. As he just stays in, goes for an Earthquake, and we tank it. We go for the Ice Punch, and we take out the Excadrill. And even though we're behind on Mons, the Gligar's at half, the Volibee doesn't have its Eviolite, the Meowscarada's at about half, the Umbreon's a little bit worn down. I feel like we're in a pretty good spot at this point. So he goes out into the Meowscarada. So I decide here I'm just gonna let Seismitoad go down. I can't really switch anything in on this right now. I want the potential Ice Shard on something later, just in case I need it. And yeah, the things that I brought Donatello mainly for, the Gastrodon and the Mega T-Tar aren't here. So I'm like, you know what? Good job, buddy. You deserve a good rest. You go down. He goes down to the Flower Trick here. That's fine. And here, I go out into Garchomp. I know this thing's locked into Flower Trick, so he can't go for Triple Axle here. And I know I live Flower Trick from banded Meowscarada. Because my original plan, this is banded Garchomp. Because I realized in prep that, his only Dragon Resist on his entire team is the Excadrill. So Dragon spam just kind of goes hard, and Garchomp can just spam, like I said, it can just spam Dragon. So I'm like, and we know this thing isn't Scarf. My original plan was I didn't really want to bring Garchomp in to get a kill until this thing was gone. Because this thing could just come in and revenge me with Triple Axle. But I'm like, you know what? I have Scale Shot. If I get to +1, I outspeed this thing because it's not Scarf. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Scale Shot here. I could just punch holes in things. And we miss. We miss on the incoming Volibee. So that's a bummer. But it is what it is. It's fine. No big deal. I'm like, you know what? This thing doesn't have an Eviolite. I kind of want to see how much this does. So I stay in. I go for another Scale Shot. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And we do a really good chunk of damage to this thing. And he goes for the Foul Play. That does a lot because we're minus defense and we are max attack. But you know what? After Rough Skin, I'm like, hey, all we need to do is get 1 hit. We knock this thing out. We're at +2. He doesn't really have a switch into this. So we're in a pretty good spot. We go for it and we miss again. He goes for the Foul Play, gets the kill. And yeah, that's a bummer. At this point, I thought the game was looking really grim. I thought, I go from looking like I'm in a really good spot. I think I'm in a really, really good spot because he can't switch anything in on this. Everything he switches in takes at least neutral damage. Take neutral damage from Scale Shot. His whole team is weakened except for Muck, which I need damage on for the Iron Valiant anyway. So like, we're in a good spot. We miss 2 out of 3 times we hit Scale Shot. So it's bad luck, but that's Mons. It is what it is. So I'm like, you know what? Here, I have to go out into Iron Valiant because I feel like I'm not speed boosting. And whenever I saw that this thing wasn't speed, I was like, oh, I really wish I brought speed boost Valiant now. I'm special attack boosting because my plan, unlike with the Greninja, was to make him be Scarf to outspeed me, try to outspeed the fast Protean Mon. My idea this time was to just try to maybe weaken it down and just hit it hard. I have Stab Vacuum Wave. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and Calm Mind here. I don't know what this thing has. All we've seen is Foul Play. I'm like, maybe it doesn't have anything for me. It could have like Foul Play, Roost, Defog, and like maybe like Toxic or something. I don't know. So I'm like, I can come in, I get my special attack boost from my Quark Drive, and I go for Calm Mind. Because I thought AV Muck looked really, really good into me. So I was fully expecting it to be a Sunfest. As he goes for the Brave Bird, and I was not expecting it to do that much damage. So he knocks himself out to recoil, and he goes out into the Muck, and I'm like, okay, I need to try to hope for like a crit or something here, because I can't really switch out. I'm not going to get a chance to set up again. I've completely lost all my boosts. I'm going to go ahead and just, and honestly, with where the Meowscarada's at, I was like, maybe a crit Ice Shard kills it, but I don't think I can break the Umbreon. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and go for the Moonblast, and we do a big chunk. So I'm like, that's not Assault Vest. And I actually, whenever I saw that, I thought the game was over. I actually looked away from my screen during the game, and when I looked back up, I saw that Piloswine was back out and had taken very little from a Poison Jab. I was like, wait, what happened? And I looked and I was like, oh, he's red card. So his red card kind of screwed him there because Valiant was dead to that Poison Jab. So here I'm thinking he might switch this out. I don't know why I thought that. He has no reason to. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and go for an Ice Shard, try to pick this thing off, and obviously it doesn't. He gets the Pain Split off. It gives him a little bit of help. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Earthquake here, try to get the kill as he goes out into the Gligar. Obviously it does nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Icicle Crash here, and Piloswine picks up the kill with Icicle Crash. So really, really nice there. He goes out into Meowscarada. Here, I can't switch anything in on this. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Ice Shard. We're gonna see how much I can do. Hopefully we should be able to put it into Vacuum Wave range. We go for Ice Shard. We do a nice chunk to it. And he goes for the Flower Trick, and we get knocked out, obviously. We go on to Iron Valiant. I'm pretty sure the Calc said this always killed. We get the Vacuum Wave off. We get the kill. He brings in the Muck. We go for the Moonblast. Get the kill. He goes out into Umbreon. We go for the Moonblast. We do a big chunk of damage to it. He misses Toxic. I don't think that matters because we don't die to 2 ticks of Toxic. And I'm pretty sure if he had Protect, which I don't think he did, he can't Protect stall. Two ticks of a tick of leftovers. 2 ticks of leftovers doesn't get him out of Moonblast range. I don't think that mattered. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it mattered. And we get another Moonblast off, and Iron Valiant sweep somehow. So that's GG to Terry. We keep our strong season going. We go to 9-2. We got a little. We had to get lucky because we got unlucky. I think if we get the average 2 to 3 scale shot hits that you expect to get every turn you click it, we knock out the Volibee without taking too much damage, and then something has to come in and take damage. So I don't know. I think if we don't get unlucky, I don't think we need to get lucky near the end. And we didn't really get lucky. We just his tech just kind of came back to bite him, and he explains that a little bit in our interview. So GG again to Terry. It was a really close game. Like I said, we're 9-2, and we will catch you in a few seconds here in the interview. See you in a second. What is going on, everybody? It is Big L here, and we are right after the battle that we just had with Coach ScaryTerry of the Boston Brelooms. How's it going? Another really close game.
I'm so mad. Like you deserved that for the 2 misses, but I'm so mad that my tech came to bite me in the ass.
Oh yeah, the red card.
Mm-hmm.
I
You want to know
thought
what that was for?
the way you were saving that in the back, I was like, man, that's gonna be AV muck, and my Valiant is gonna do nothing to it. That's what I thought
No,
it was.
I always usually bring AV Muck, but this week I brought Muck as a sack specifically because I realized my team gets washed by like Booster Energy Sword Stance Val. So
Right.
I EV'd my Muck so that without if I don't come in on hazards, I guarantee live a +2 close combat, and then I red card you out.
Oh
My
yeah, that's
plan
pretty
was
cool.
to just come in on an SD. Then I'd either go for paint split or knock off depending on your team.
Hmm.
Ideally, I'd bring in the Pilot Swine, but it was just to make sure you didn't have the speed boost so that my
Right.
Meow would be able to outspeed.
Yeah, I thought there was a decent chance after you saw how good of a job Scarf Gren did against me last week that you would just kind of do the same thing with Meowscarada and just bring Scarf Meowscarada to outspeed Speed Boost Valiant. And so this week I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to try to outspeed the cat. I'm going to go special with Vacuum Wave.
Oh, well, I prepped so much for physical Valiant, and then I realized maybe like 30 minutes ago that like Val's mixed. He could bring special, and I don't really have a great thing for it. But it was that flip of the coin, you know. I could have
Right.
changed the muck at the last minute, but what
It's
are you
one of
gonna
the
do?
that's one of the good things about Iron Valiant is like people like the downside to it, in my opinion. I mean, it's just like any Pokemon like this, is people over prep like crazy for it because if you don't, you just lose to it, and that's just how it is. But
Mhm.
the downside to it, from as someone using it, is like you always have in your plan, oh, if this happens, it just wins. But people don't let the thing happen ever because
Yeah.
they over prepare for it. They're like, okay, what can this thing do? And yeah,
Mhm.
on turn one, whenever you went for knockoff, I was like, oh, that thing is banded as fuck.
Yep.
And I was
I
like, oh,
didn't.
that's scary.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's in my name, you know.
I didn't expect the Volibee at all. I thought you'd bring T-Tar.
Oh,
I thought Sandrush, Sandrush Excadrill
no.
looked good.
I considered that, but like when I did the calcs, even with Life Orb, Excadrill doesn't threaten. Like I need to get the positioning to Sword Stance, and there's
Mhm.
only like 2 or 3 Mons on your team that lets me do that.
Well, I thought
Assuming
you
you don't
might
have.
bring Sand Rush with a band.
Yeah, I considered that, but then like T-Tar is just mostly dead weight on the team because it gets hit by so many. Pretty much everything on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
team
against ground
have
and yeah,
coverage.
ground and fairy kind of tough for it. But I mean, it gives itself so much bulk in the sand.
I'll tell you what though, like on the inside scoop, I had an initial plan for your team that I chickened out of at the last minute because I didn't think it was good enough. But I really like, as far as my record goes, I only need 1 win to go positive, so I'm like not super worried about playoffs.
Right.
What I wanted to do was get back at you for sniping my Palisand. So I was just gonna bring weakness policy, rock polish, go lurk, and just be like,
Yo.
"This is what you made me draft. Deal with it."
Yo, I thought Golurk looked pretty good in prep. Honestly, I was like, yo, Golurk, that thing could be pretty scary too. Like, I thought, considering that the dark into fairy matchup isn't ideal on your end, I thought you had a lot of good choices this week. I really do. Like,
That's the thing.
I was surprised. I thought Gastrodon. There was a good chance Gastrodon could come. I mean, as you can see on my team,
Hmm.
I brought Freeze Dry on Piloswine.
Hmm.
And then I
That's
brought
exact.
Grass Knot, Power Whip, Energy Ball. I brought a lot of things to be able to hit that bulky ass thing.
That's exactly why I didn't bring Gastrodon, because much like a couple other opponents that I've had, Gastrodon looks so good,
Mm-hmm.
people over prepare for it, and so many things now get grass coverage, so it just dies.
I'm sorry. So I don't know. I think he's been watching all the videos. So because he's a friend. If you're not watching Caden, my son, you are disowned. But that was his tech actually, was freeze dry, because I had toxic there originally. I was like, I just don't really know what else to put here. I thought maybe rocks, but rocks aren't really that good against him. I was like, and he's like, dude, hear me out. Freeze dry for Gastrodon. I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here. And then I actually did a calc with it. I was like, oh, if he's Fizz Def Gastrodon, that's a 2-hit KO. What the hell?
Yep. See, I saw that coming because that was the tech back in the day for like Mamoswine and all of the watered ground types. I was like, well, I mean, he's a good enough player. He probably knows that Piloswine gets freeze dry. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna bother.
I'm super sad because based on what you have, if I don't miss both scale shots, does Garchomp just win? If I just hit scale
Uh,
shots, I mean,
Probably you're
Alola might have been able.
banded.
Yeah, I'm banded.
Yeah, so like depending on how many hits you get, Golem might have lived. I'd have to do the calc for Gligar because he still had Eviolite, but he was at half.
Right. You would have had to
He might
gotten.
have lived
You would
like
have, I
two or
think, one
three.
hit, maybe two. But yeah,
Yeah,
I was really happy with. I was really excited to bust out Choice Band Garchomp this week, and then
not what I would have expected. Scale shot.
missed two scales. Because whenever I saw that you weren't, because like, the original plan with Garchomp was to like hopefully your team gets kind of softened up, and then I could just click Outrage late. Um, because I didn't want to lock into Earthquake because Gligar, and then whenever I saw the Volibee, I was like, okay, well I definitely can't lock into Outrage. I mean into Earthquake now. But I was like, oh, he doesn't have a fairy on his team. So I was like, Outrage is just kind of free. And then once I got a lot of damage, once Excadrill was gone, I was like, yo, Outrage just nothing switches in on it. But I was
That's
like, I
funny.
didn't. But then like I almost clicked it when I brought it in on the Meowscarada because you were locked into Flower Trick because I knew I lived one. And so I was like, wait, if I go for Scale Shot, he's not Scarf, which is what I was afraid of. I was like, I just outspeed. I was like, he could bring the Volibee in because it's at full health. I was like, but it doesn't have an Eviolite. I was
Yeah.
like, Scale Shot could just pop off right
That's why I brought part of why I brought Vullaby was because it took with Eviolite, it takes so little damage from non-setup Garchomp.
it surprised me. Like I just didn't think you'd bring an extra Dark type. That was the
I brought more
main reason. I figured if you were going to bring something there, like a Dark type, there would have been T-Tar.
I brought more dark types than I thought I was going to tell honest truth. But I thought you were gonna bring more of your ground types. like the good fairies, and then because I was expecting like I think your team was most of what I prepped for, but I thought you were going to bring like one of either Togekiss or Altaria, and then Grimmsnarl. I really thought you were going to bring Grim.
I looked at Grimmsnarl a little bit. Um, the problem is like what it wants to do. It can't really do against Dark types, which is Thunder Wave, Parting Shot. It can't
Uh-huh.
do that against Dark types. And then whenever I really dug into calcs with like, I was like, maybe I bring maybe like a bulk up. But like bulk up didn't really do that good because Meowscarada has the always crit move. You had the
Mm-hmm.
Urshifu, which I mean, granted, yeah, it quad resists the always crit move. Um, but close combat to like if I bring like bulk up, close combat from a banded Urshifu still hit me like a truck. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, and like I said, Meowscarada has, like I said, the always crit move. So I didn't really see Reflect being super useful. And then like whenever I was doing calcs and I saw like, okay, Togekiss can live a Life Orb Iron Head from Excadrill. I was like, do I really need the Reflect? And so that's why it didn't come. But
That's why I was so confident in staying in on Excadrill and thinking it was going to do enough because I thought you might have just been one of those like defog max HP max speed sets, and on that
mm,
set, Drill does 96 minimum.
right. No, this set was. I mean, originally I thought of it to be a wish passer, but
Ah,
then I was like, well, he could bring hazards. As I was like, whenever I saw that Gligar got T spikes, I was like, okay, he could bring T spikes. I didn't expect rocks because like you know half the team's ground, so I didn't really think rocks. But it ended up would have been a really good play had I not been able to defog him away with Togekiss. It could have come in
mhm.
clutch for you. But I was hoping Grass Knot would do enough to Excadrill, but it just does zero to Excadrill. Because that was another thing that I saw in prep. I was like, someone, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Caden. Was like, why are you running Aura Sphere over Dazzling Gleam? I was like, because Grass Knot does zero to Excadrill, and
Mhm.
I need some way to hit it.
That's valid.
Because I do live the hit. So, but yeah, because I mean, I didn't have a super luck instead of because I didn't have a move for. Uh,
Mhm.
so a crit there would have just straight up killed, which would have been nice. But oh well, it is what it is.
That's Mons. Sometimes you crit, sometimes you miss moves you're really not supposed to miss.
Yeah, yeah. That's why last week I was wide lens on on Seismitoad for Power Whip. It didn't end up mattering because I never clicked it, but that's why I brought it. Because I was like, I'm gonna make my Power Whip like 96% accurate, and I'll
I'm
still
gonna,
miss.
I'm gonna,
That
I'm gonna
way,
make sure.
yeah, that way when I miss, I can say, hey, I did everything I could. But
That's
yeah,
valid.
after watching the T4U lose the dual wing beat miss, I was like, oh no, not like this.
I saw that this
When the scale
morning, and
shot went off, I was like, not like
I, w-
this.
I was, I was crushed,
Yeah, that was rough for him. He's been clawing back
dude.
to try to make it playoffs too.
I did a calc for him. Fun fact: if his opponent's Venusaur had no bulk, his Earthquake would have killed at that range. And he was like, "Oh fuck! How did I overlook that?"
But you gotta, I mean, yeah, you gotta assume a little bit of bulk though. I think,
Yeah,
like, but yeah, it's like you said, that's Mons. Um,
that is.
Toxic and Yawn on Umbreon is surprising.
I was considering Thunderwave. I couldn't think of a good last move that I was super
Oh, you're
confident
Moonlight
in.
instead of Wish.
Yeah,
Okay, because I would have thought I thought whenever the turn you toxic the toxic Altaria, I was like, I can't let him just. I thought about going out to Togekiss that term, and I was like, I can't let him just wish pass into Meowscarada because like you were at that point, like I had gotten the ice shard, I had gotten the what's it called, icicle crash damage, and I was like, yo,
mhm,
that could put him into vacuum wave range. I need to like make it so he does not get a wish pass into that thing
bro.
because I wanted to
If
keep
there
you
are
in that range.
with this format specifically, if there are two moves that I've learned to hate just because of how my team works. It's Vacuum Wave and Trailblaze. 'Cause too many Mons get those moves now, and they hurt my team so much.
Yeah, I mean,
Vacuum Wave has been a threat forever for me.
so what do you think of? This is we're getting near the end of the season. What do you think of the format?
I think it's fun. I definitely think that it's like it's not perfect, obviously,
Correct.
because a lot of like I've shown and a lot of people have shown that you can win matches that are not
Mm-hmm.
super favorable. Um,
Absolutely.
but there are like I'll give an example. When I faced Mr. Midi, my matchup was terrible and I got 5-0'd. But then I've had other opponents that my matchup wasn't great and I still ended up winning just because of how you prep.
Yeah, prep
So
can
it,
go a
it
long way. I
definitely
think this format can really showcase prep quite a bit.
Mhm.
Um, now, yeah, I do think there are some matchups that are just really, really tough for people, and like I get it, and that sucks. And that's just that's just the nature, and like, we can't. Not everyone can get lucky and get like two really good types that work super well together. Um, but I think I think you're kind of right. Like there are flaws, and this is just a one-off thing. I think, and with something this to do something a little bit different. Um,
I
but I
got,
think
I got to draft. I got to draft for Shifu single strike. I'm happy.
yeah, that's cool. I prepped
I'll
I, I
never get
prepped
to
like
use.
crazy for that thing too.
I'll never get to use that Mon ever again unless they do like an Uber's format
They did one here. We've done one
last
here
season.
before. Was it last season? I just didn't play because of Terra. I'm dead serious. I won't play. I hate Terra. I hate it. I hate it as a format. I hate it as a
I
game.
li- I like Terra, but I understand 100% why people don't like it.
I mean, I agree. I get why a lot of people love it. I 100% understand. I get that I'm in the minority, absolutely, but I can't stand it. I think it's absolutely busted.
Yeah.
Personally, that's
I'm
just my
more in
opinion.
favor. I'm more in favor of lower tier Terra just to give the little guys a
Yeah, I think
chance.
that's why. I think that's why.
I,
I think that's where most leagues have gone with Terra as well. It's like just
yeah.
tier 3 and lower is the only thing that can Terra, or tier 4 and lower is the only thing that can Terra. But I
I
don't know.
just like it for mons with bad defensive mons with bad types. I
Yeah.
like it for them specifically. Like most other things, nah. If you're super like if you're Valiant could Terra, that's just like
Oh, yeah.
no no no
That's
get
silly.
that out of here.
That's absolutely silly. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But like I'm
This-
trying to think of them on it. Like I know
I the
for
first
example, T4U has used it really well in the past, which is what is that Pokemon's name? Shit, I'm blanking.
what's it look like?
Is it Hisui and Lilligant? I think he's used like super
He
well
used
with
that
Terra.
in the yeah, he used that in the Ubers league. I
Yeah,
saw
he's used
that.
that super well with Terra, and like that's a mon that like it typically the typing kind of doesn't help it. The grass in general is just one of those types that doesn't really help back anything up.
Hey, my first league, which was like 2 months ago, I I got second highest kill leader with a Terra Captain Tauros, like regular Tauros, and I
Oh,
loved
that's
that
cool.
thing.
Hey, that's Gen 1 normal type. It gets just every move.
Mm-hmm.
But
Except for the move.
is there anything else that you noticed or
Uh, all I'm gonna say is for one, uh, I'm new to the whole, at least playing draft.
Mhm.
So I'm happy enough with the record that I have and playing against all these people who have a lot of experience. And also, I thought I was gonna get decimated by you because the matchup typing wise isn't great, and you've got a lot of scary mons, and you're also a really good player.
Oh,
So
thank
even though it had a little luck involved, the fact that it came down to a 1-0, I'm happy with.
you. And might be able to, like I said, you're one win away from. I think you're probably in. You're what now? 6 or
I'd be
7.
6-4. I haven't done my week 10 match yet because my opponent hasn't gotten back
Oh,
to
okay.
me.
Yeah, you might make it. I don't. I feels like I think I said it to Midi last week, or I think I might have. I say I recorded my video for that battle yesterday morning. So I might have said it in the recording part, but it feels like half the league is like hovering between 3 and 5 wins. So you might
Hmm.
be like already good. I don't know, but you might be able to get that run back in the playoffs. Might be. I mean, I
If
don't
I
know.
have, I'm hoping if I play you in playoffs, it's the finals. I don't want to have to play you in regular season. Your team scares me.
Oh, thank you. I mean, your team was scary, man. The Meowscarada was
The
a
fact
big problem in prep.
I love Meow in this format,
Well, I think it's great. It's a great Pokemon in general.
dude. The fact that you managed to get two of the best typings in a type draft format
I
blows my mind.
I have no idea how ground fell.
I
I
don't know
wasn't gonna
either.
be upset about it, but I can't believe it. Like I thought, whenever T4U was talking to me because he was the on the bottom wheel when he was talking to me before, like during the type draft, he's like, he's like flying, he's like flying fairy. That sounds really really good. I was like, dude, I would love it if a type as good as flying falls to me, and then ground just falls into my
I know,
lap.
right?
I'm like, how the hell? I'm sitting there messaging people like, how is this? Is this really gonna happen? There's no way this
I look.
happens.
Listen, I went ninth out of 14 and got ground.
Which is
Things
insane.
are possible.
Like
I
it's like a
know. I,
top,
I
it's
got.
like a top four type in my opinion.
I know.
Like
Ugh,
fairy, dragon, steel, and then after that you can make a case for a whole bunch of types.
yeah.
In
I would
my
have been
opinion,
fine with
I
like
think fairy,
water.
dragon, steel are like the three best, and
Yeah.
then after that you've got like
I feel like
ground,
water and fire
water,
are good in ground.
maybe poison. Uh, but and then you've got Mr. Z who's got dragon steel.
I know, right?
Like how's that
How did
happen?
that happen?
But oh well, hey, people drafted it. We got to deal with it. It is what it is.
Exactly. It
So
is what it. Listen, I got Meow. Meow can be like different types at
oh,
once.
Meowscarada awesome. That was an idea in the whenever we were getting ready to set the league up. We were thinking about banning Protean because it like kind of like goes against the spirit of the.
Listen, if it
But
was old
we ended up
Protean, I would agree. Yep.
we obviously ended up going a different direction. That's why Gran and
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, but
Drafted Cinderace.
huh?
I said no one drafted Cinderace, so you're good on that front.
There's only one fire person, right?
Yep.
Only one person
It's
drafted
only
fire.
Tiger.
And yeah, and Cinderace isn't really a sun team Pokemon. I mean, I guess it can be used in sun, but it's not really thought of as like a sun Pokemon.
Hmm.
But
Listen, if it was old Protean, I would get that it was banned. New
oh yeah,
Protean,
absolutely,
it's easier to deal with.
much easier. Yeah, for sure. But
Also, just before we go,
mhm.
shout out to my Meowscarada named Loki after Mr. T4U, one of T4U's cats.
Oh, there we go. Are you guys friends in real life?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. He been in the server with him for a long time. He's a buddy. So that's cool. I'm that's cool. Shout out T4U's cat Loki.
Scratches his leg at the least convenient times and comes in clutch in draft.
But all right, I think that is going to do it for us today. If you watched this long, thank you very very much for watching. I really really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, there you go. See, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace out.